Colors fade and lights all fade. There's no need to be afraid. The sun is set and stars will shine. Truth and dreams will intertwine. If darkness drops and night will fall, we will answer when it calls. Where you lose lucidity, morning light will be the key. The sun will rise again. The sun will rise again. The sun will rise again. I can take you anywhere, surrounded by the silken air, waiting for tomorrow's dawn. Beneath the dusk we wish upon, the galaxy runs through our veins. Time will pass as space remains. When you look for skies of blue, morning light will be a cue. The sun will rise again. To be
A broken mind, a shadow lost within. Suddenly you feel it on your skin, and you know that it won't let go. And it won't let go. And it won't let go. And it won't let go. It's in your head and you want it all. A broken mind, a shadow lost within. Suddenly you feel it on your skin, and you know that it won't let go. And 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 it won't let go. It's in your head and you want it all. A broken mind, a shadow lost within. Suddenly you feel it on your skin, and you know that it won't let go.
If I could live this life again, I wouldn't change a thing. We're the lucky ones to find this love, this place, this time. And so here we are, fading fast, and our hearts are in it. So take in this life, 'cause we won't get this moment twice. This moment. just take it in, take it all in. Every life you touch and every soul you feel, we are safe and sound and we are strong and real. As our minds retain us to this better place, and our hearts forever, it will always stay. Holding on to memories in my head, every song and every tear and every breath. 'Cause I'm taking in this life. 'Cause I know that I won't get this moment twice. This moment.
On the forest floor I lie, like a seed that's come alive. I will grow towards the sky. Water feed me, let me follow. Maybe
Welcome to El Gran Show. Holy shit, did it take me forever to fucking start this fucking stream. Oh my god, procrastination all the way. So, welcome everybody. I gotta be honest, I've been sitting here for 25 minutes listening to this fucking music. I gotta turn it off. Or at least like lower the fuck out of the volume. Let's do that. Let's start it there. Oh my god. Welcome. It's been a long time. Actually, I've never streamed on YouTube, so this is the first time, but I used to stream on Twitch for a week about 2 months ago. And now I'm back with a special, actually. So, long story short, my girlfriend's having an album release party to an amazing album, Static as Death. And I have been in whoa, how do you say that? Holy shit. Part of the preparation of this was smoking bowls, my bad. I'm basically in charge of the stage production, at least of the words I cannot speak. It's not supposed to be a speaking stream. I'm actually going to be crafting today. So I'm excited to not speak that much anymore. I'm probably going to play some videos, quote-unquote ethical react, transformative content while I craft on this side of the room. But yeah, Basically, I want to make a medieval tavern. Yeah, it's the music. I think it's the music. It's just too much. Too much. Let's just stop. Let's just stop. Um, let's just make it. Or I know. How about this? It's just too late for that. Ah, yes. Anyways. Yeah, this makes more sense to what I'm trying to do. So I'm making a medieval tavern feel. I bought like 150 fake candles. I wanted to buy real candles, but I don't think the people who I just realized it probably I don't sorry, I am stoned. Let's just get to it. I'm building a medieval tavern chandelier. A medieval tavern chandelier. A medieval tavern chandelier. My idea was make it out of cardboard. I got some other things like plastic chain and like those fake candles that I told you about. Got some hot glue, which reminds me I haven't gone to go get the hot glue gun all this fucking time, and I didn't go get the hot glue gun. Yay. But yeah. I probably am gonna play, like I said, some YouTube videos so I can distract myself while I build this. I might smoke a little more weed, and I just have been procrastinating this all day. Part of it was because I wanted to like record it, but now we're here, so let's just fucking do it. And I guess I'll put the mic over here just in case I want to say something. Could put it over here, I guess. This is where I'm gonna be taking off staples. That's the first part of this. Is taking off staples. Now you may wonder, Pablo, David, where have you gone? Hi, welcome. So, I have this big ass TV box. Ugh, it's hard to show how big it is. And I need to take it apart in order to draw a giant. So I don't even know how to talk about my process. Okay, just watch. Okay, just pay attention. We're gonna just first take it apart. Okay, that's all I could tell you. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me. was thinking that I maybe should just cut the entire thing. Wait, this is kind of. Oh my god, my camera went away. Why does it keep doing that? Full disclosure, since unless you haven't noticed by the beautiful picture quality, my camera is also my phone. So if anybody's trying to reach me right now, I'm busy. Anyways, I forgot what I was saying. I was just gonna say I have a lot of patience because I am gonna take all these staples off, one by one, while listening to jazz. Another one. I swear to God, by the end of this, it's gonna be amazing what we're gonna do. I swear. I hope. You know, my dad, I probably shouldn't be talking like this about my dad, but my dad makes fun of my uncle whenever he's working with something. He takes out his tongue, he goes, and I do the same thing. It's funny because my uncle kind of looks like me, and I get it. It just feels kind of like your tongue is. Anyway. No, now I'm looking at these staples and they might actually be copper. Like maybe I should be keeping them. Like I'm not gonna scrap metal them, but I might. Like that together with like other wire from like stuff. Just so you guys know, my dad was an electrician growing up, and there was always a lot of like scrap wire. That's actually where I got these, just from being an electrician with him. And there's a lot of money to be made from scraps of metal. You probably know that because of homeless people doing that, but homeless people can do it too. as much fun as I am probably just doing this, I'm gonna play a video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I don't even know what video I'm gonna play. Let's figure it out together.
An idiot.
Gusty? What are you doing?
He couldn't take over a courthouse, much less the whole world. Please! We throw ourselves on the mercy of the court!
All right. Because of your pathetic attempts at causing mischief, I sentence you to a weekend of community service. And that goes for your friend Scar, too. I will now bang my gavel.
Decided to go for cartoons.
See, G? I told you I'd get you off.
There. That's the last of it.
I gotta be honest, cartoons aren't like the best thing to listen to.
Success!
Now forgive me, I'm not a whiz at TikTok. I made a TikTok, I tried, I can't
Maybe
do
this?
it. I'm too old. I think I just can't deal with another social media platform. I already am overextending onto multiple channels on YouTube. I couldn't cope with TikTok as well. So forgive me if I'm not very savvy with TikTok. So these are the results of a text search for burning sage is demonic. A text search. I am 500 years old. Okay. So this first video that shows up is titled, Can a Christian Burn Sage?
Can you burn sage as a Christian? Sage is a practice of smudging. In New Age practices in witchcraft, it's supposedly supposed to exit out the bad energy. What he does is
Exit out the bad energy, okay?
Exit
Richard
out
Lorenzo
the
Jr.
bad
Lovely to meet
energy,
you,
mate.
Richard. I like your beard. You got a cool t-shirt. You got a whole good vibe going on here. We actually learned when we looked this up initially in another video that smudging is specifically a Native American practice. Smudging and the burning of white sage, which I believe is endangered, which is part of the problem with, modern New Age people kind of appropriating that.
Amen.
It's a part of a lot of Native American culture and is, often used for cleansing. Burning sage is kind of a separate thing.
It's
so
like
as I
so
understand
easy
it,
to
smudging
grow.
and burning
Like, I
white
don't
sage is
understand
kind of
why they
problematic.
don't just
And I
grow
will
it.
just say,
You
I
can
think
just
it's
grow it.
really
It's so easy.
interesting. Demonizing smudging and burning sage is a big Christian thing, given what we know
And
about
if you
how
grow extra,
Christianity
you would be helping with the
historically reacts
endangered
to
shit. So what the fuck?
other spiritual practices and religions. I think that's kind of worth bearing in mind while we look at this. But yes, as Richard points out, it has been kind of adopted by modern day witches,
It's like
Wiccans,
peyote. There's these, like,
pagans, non-spiritual
people,
people as a way of sort of cleansing
Stealing like
a room, cleansing
30-year-old
the
specimens of
energy.
peyote
Sorry,
from the
Richard, do carry
desert
on.
and then like killing
pivots
them.
people and convinces
Not even
them,
to eat them, like,
deceives
they were
them
trying to, like-
to worship the
Anyways,
creation
not saying that
rather
was
than
good,
the
but
creator. God is the one who
just
protects
grow
us from
peyote.
evil. In the name of
Grow your
Jesus
own
Christ
peyote.
alone keeps demons away.
Which kind of begs the question. Forgive me, I'm still cleaning up a little bit of chamomile tea that I spilled earlier. Kind of begs the question, if all it takes is the name of Jesus Christ to keep demons away, you could burn sage, right? In theory, you could burn sage, you could use a Ouija board, you could do whatever, because you just go, Jesus Christ, every now and then, and be safe, right?
Sage is a ritualistic witchcraft practice. It does not protect you. You're creating a demonic atmosphere in your house for demons to dwell.
Citation needed? Demonic energy. Again, this is what I've been told regarding Ouija boards and things as well. How? Why? historically, as again we mentioned last time, burning sage is largely for healing purposes. Why would a demon be attracted to burning sage as opposed to, say, vanilla scented candles? You know what I mean?
Sage is a big one to allow demons to have
I'm
a big
definitely
old
really
party. As soon as
comfortable
you
with the
start burning
Ouija
sage,
boards, in my
they hop in.
opinion.
That's how you have a demon party? Sign me up. The worst thing about all this conspiracy stuff is they make it sound so cool, which is more disappointing when you realize that it's actually bullshit. Maybe I want to have a big demon party.
And they're like, woo, we lit. And they start messing with you. You must seek God so that you could.
I love the idea that demons have modernized to use, like, the young hip vernacular. You got your, new age hippie walks in, just burning some sage, and then these demons fucking pop up like, yo, we lit.
could have knowledge and repent of these things, change, turn away, or throw it into a lake, throw it into a dumpster, flush it down the toilet, whatever. All you have to do is say,
I don't think you should flush sage down a toilet for plumbing reasons, and I don't think you should dump it in a river for it's just environmental reasons.
God, I'm getting rid of it. I understand now. And one of the ways of following.
Hey God, I'm sorry. Richard told me what's up with sage. I don't want the demons to be lit. I'm throwing it out, I promise.
Repenting from sage, crystals, evil eyes, chakras, all this witchcraft buffoon.
How can it be buffoonery and dangerous to your salvation at the same time? That's horse shit. It's either harmless buffoonery or it's opening the door to big demons, to bigdemonparties.com. I want that website. I just, forgive me a moment for being me, but, all the big fucking bankers and their bonuses, the oil companies bleeding the little guy dry whilst destroying the environment, corrupt politicians, murder and all that shit going on in the world. God really gives a shit if you have a crystal? If you're like, that is a pretty shiny rock, I'm gonna hold it for some comfort. I cannot understand any interpretation of a god that gives a shit about that sort of thing, or burning sage, or any of this bollocks. Good top comment, God made the earth for a reason. Sage is made out of flowers. In my culture, sage is an instrument that God gave us. It's not the sage that has the power. Yes! Tell that to my fellow Native Americans. Sage is used in our prayers. I'm Native and that's how I pray, sir. In the Bible, one of the offerings was incense. Yes. Okay, I am so glad. This is part of why I like doing these things, because it reassures me that the majority of people are normal. When you get into these conspiracy circles online and this fundamentalist religious attitude, you forget that most people are completely normal. So it's really good to see a comment section of Christians being like, bruh, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, this is 52 seconds of #Christian TikTok. This is what demons look like.
This man went to hell for 23 minutes. Listen to how he describes the demons he saw in hell.
I was standing beneath this tunnel, like cavern walls that were sending upward. And all along the cavern walls were demons. Some were only 2 and 3 feet tall.
Aww.
Some were 12 and 13 feet tall.
Oh.
But every one of them were twisted and deformed and grotesque. The most hideous looking creatures. And I noticed there were snakes crawling all over everything.
I'll never understand this form of reaction content, right? There was somebody who for a while reacted to my reaction videos like this, where you just, the person just sits in front and goes like, oh my gosh, wow. And that's their whole content, is just reposting other people's content with them going like, over the top.
First off, sorry about that. Camo, which is the program that I'm using for the camera on my phone, keeps spazzing out. So I must apologize for that. Second of all, I hope Emma Thorne, this is actually the first time I think I'm watching one of their videos. Maybe not the first time, but I can't remember. I hope they don't mind that I'm doing this. Once again, we are making a medieval tavern chandelier, or a medieval I was wondering about the order of those words. I think it's medieval tavern chandelier. That sounds about right. Anyways, gotta keep taking off staples. Ta-ta.
Love that they're little 2-foot demons. That's really cute. Again, from like a boring cultural or
cute.
historical kind of perspective, isn't
It
it
is kinda
so
cute. It's called
interesting how
duendes.
anything that is kind of other in humanity is seen as demonic or sinister by certain groups? Physical deformities is a normal part of life. People being especially short or tall. Anything outside of the norm of people who are just human beings, it's like being fucking left-handed or something, you know? It's demonic and evil.
And then I looked, and I was standing on a bed of maggots, just solid maggots, crawling all over everything and everybody.
This is no joke. Hell is a real place. Repent of your sins today and turn to Jesus so you never go there.
That was just nothing. This man went to hell for 23 minutes. Then we see a man describe an acid trip and relate it to Isaiah. You see, that is why you gotta repent. Fuck off. So stupid. I was a witch. Stop burning sage immediately.
Town that I lived in where you could get all kinds of new age witchcraft things. And the first thing that we bought was sage. And you know what we did? It would come in these little bundles and we would burn it. And we would go into the corners of the house and we would try to get rid
Love
of
the story.
evil spirits. We would have our little chants, incantations that we would go around saying together. So when I say to people, you better be careful of that door that you're opening, and they will say back to me, well, I use it for this reason, but I don't use it for that reason. I use it for this reason. Well, if Ouija boards were all of a sudden used as serving trays, would you have one in your house and say, well, I...
Fuck yeah. I love the idea of getting more of these and using them as serving trays. Thank you, Jenny, for that idea. That is so great. Gotta put it back up again. Strength!
I don't use it for that reason. I use it as a
think
serving
rolling-
tray. It's a really good
rolling
serving
tray is
tray.
better.
That would be full.
Says who? Says fucking who?
In my opinion.
Again, it's just like, and there was a comment that said exactly this that I'm ripping this from. Source, trust me, bro. That would be foolish. Why? I've had this Ouija board in my room ever since I moved here. There have been exactly 0 occurrences of demons in my house. The fact that she tells people who burn sage, you better not do that, and they're like, yeah, but it's fine. Yeah, but I do burn it for this reason, and it's fine. And she's like, oh, well, one day, though. One day, maybe, probably. I watched Paranormal Activity, and I melded it with my Christian upbringing, and now I'm scared of everything. Witness the spine-chilling deliverance of a real-life witchcraft demon, as opposed to the other kinds of demons. This is a witchcraft-specific demon, as it is cast out by the Holy Spirit. Oh, God, we're about to see someone going through a very traumatic time inspired by a creepy church. Great.
In the mighty name of Jesus.
What's going on?
I'm coming to get you next. You're next. Find your feet. Why are you begging?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. Answer me.
Okay. First of all, that was very well shot to the point where I'm half convinced those were just actors. However, for the sake of decency, I'm going to talk about it as if that's a real person. That shit is trauma-inducing. That really happens to people. I have spoken to and seen a lot of former Christians from this kind of fundamentalist church upbringing talk about how fully they were immersed in that life and how they would speak in tongues and be delivered from demons. A hot minute back, I interviewed a lovely chap called Andrew. I will leave a link to a BBC documentary he made down below. It's absolutely fantastic, in which he investigates a preacher, a priest who performs exorcisms. And spoiler alert, the ending text reveals that everyone who had an exorcism, their problems came back almost immediately. I can't, in good faith, pardon the pun, watch that and rip into it in a funny way. And I can talk about some of it in an amusing way, but like my first instinct is to just feel so fucking sad and angry. Fuck Daniel, who was preaching and encouraging that, because that shit traumatizes people. It's not real. Fuck all of that. And on a less serious note, isn't speaking in tongues the good bit? Isn't that the good thing where, like, Jesus is speaking through you, or the Holy Spirit is, like, speaking through you? Speaking in tongues is the good bit, but she was, like, an angry demon speaking in tongues, so fucking I don't know. Okay, let's listen to this young lady explain how everything is demonic. The caption says, it's all deception.
Zodiac signs are demonic. Astrology is demonic.
Alright, hold on. She's going real fast. Let's quickly learn the history of the Zodiac. Not the killer, the star thing. The Zodiac is a belt-shaped region of the sky that extends approximately 8 degrees north and south, as measured in celestial latitude of the ecliptic, which is the apparent path of the sun across the celestial sphere over the course of the year. Sounds demonic? Astrology is a range of divinatory practices recognized as pseudoscientific since the 18th century. We kind of knew that bit, but I wanted to have a reference anyway. Once again, we have no actual information. It is just that anything vaguely spiritual that isn't Christian, it's actually demons.
Fortune telling is demonic. Psychics are demonic. Media.
Kind of agree. I find it hard to conceive of a way for psychics to be ethical, because what do they do? What can they do other than prey on people's trust and fears and grief?
I gotta be honest,
and
this
take
person's
money for
getting
that.
on my nerves.
So sure, psychics are demonic. I'll stand by that.
Mediums are demonic.
Their
Tarot cards
vibes
are demonic.
I
Yoga
gotta switch
is
it.
demonic.
Yoga's demonic. Where's Barbie? Summoning all of my demonic energy. Give me that demon.
Say something! Just this once! I'm gonna kill Praxis!
Jak 2, known as Jak 2 Renegade in
Watching a
Power
lot of gamer
Regions, is
content.
the sequel to Naughty Dog's Jak and Daxter: The Precursor Legacy, and honestly seems in many ways more like a soft reboot than a direct sequel, despite very much carrying over the same characters directly after the events of the first game. This is because in a lot of ways, it is a kind of soft reboot for the series. The first Jak and Daxter game dropped in December of 2001, but you know what else came out a few months before it in October of that same year? Grand Theft Auto 3. Now, I tend to try and keep my videos as much about whatever game or games I'm covering as I can, while avoiding comparisons unless warranted, but there's simply no way of talking about Jak 2 without bringing up GTA 3, because the entire structure and direction of Jak 2 was directly influenced by it. The Precursor Legacy featured some very impressive technology, like being able to traverse across the entire game's various areas with no loading screens, but after the majority of the development team had played through GTA 3, most of them realized that they could utilize what they had designed in the Precursor Legacy to a significantly larger extent and create a far more ambitious game. Not only were Naughty Dog themselves dissuaded from continuing down the direction of whimsical platformers, but even their own conducted focus groups informed them that audiences were increasingly preferring darker, more violent, and mature games. I mean, come on, this was the early 2000s after all. I like to imagine that half of Jak 2's dev team were taking breaks to crush some Mountain Dew Code Red while listening to Hybrid Theory and playing GTA 3. It would certainly help explain the hyper-edgy tone of the game, because Jak 2 cranks the edge factor up several notches, and I love every single second of it. Naughty Dog's desire to make a game with a darker direction was so strong, in fact, that they even considered whether or not they wanted to pursue a sequel to Jak and Daxter at all. But Sony's confidence in the characters and brand they'd established with the first game led the two parties to compromising on a darker, direct sequel being greenlit with a budget of around $15 million. But before we get into the full story of Jak 2, I need to take a minute to talk about this video's sponsor, Manscaped. For those of us who like to keep our heads shaved, doing so can get super annoying, especially if you're working with cheap equipment like I have in the past. Which is why I was thrilled when Manscaped reached out to send me the Dome Shaver Plus. See, I like having my head shaved, but I've never enjoyed actually shaving my head due to the headaches around cheap trimmers getting stuck, or losing battery too quickly, or dealing with cords. But fortunately, the Dome Shaver Plus has resolved all of those issues for me. Not only is it chargeable with a long-lasting battery life for ease of use without worrying about cords getting in your way, but it's also waterproof, which allows me to use it in the shower if I'm in a rush and need to get my head shaved quickly. Not to mention how the Flex Adjust technology and ultra-thin blade guards reduces the risk of nicks and ingrown hairs while providing a smooth, close shave to your scalp. And the magnetic detachable blade pad is a total godsend for making it easy to clean. For me, the Dome Shaver Plus turned what used to be an annoying routine to maintain my appearance into a quick and easy side note of my morning or evening shower. And with better results than before, meaning that for once, the easier way can actually be the better one. If you're like me and this is something you've been needing, then I'm telling you, it's worth it. By clicking the link in the description and using my code EvanPrince at checkout, you'll receive 20% off and get free international shipping.
I have a
So
dome
thanks
shaver
again to
and I don't
Manscaped for
have a
sponsoring
bald
this
head.
video and making my life easier.
And I'm not even making
now let's
a joke.
get back into
I
it.
just have one.
Whoa! I need one of those.
For a game that looks and plays like a slightly improved version of its predecessor, I can't properly explain just how much bigger it actually is. Jak 2 is overflowing
Got
with
the last
exciting
set.
mechanics, locations, and elements to see and explore. I mean, it's kinda got everything. An open-world dystopian cyberpunk city setting, a plethora of cool vehicles to ride, multiple weapon types and shooter mechanics, platforming, exploring, collecting, hoverboarding, mech sections, mini-games, an arena-set hoverbike racing subplot, time travel, multiple different enemy factions, a dictator villain, a more powerful big monster villain. I mean, it's really got pretty much everything. It's also way longer than the first game, like more than double the length actually. The Precursor Legacy took me around 6.5 hours to get through the main story while really taking my time. Comparatively, Jak 2 took me roughly 14.5 hours just to get through the story, and that's just playing it normally, and not counting going back in to collect the additional Precursor orbs hidden around the game to unlock the cheats and unlock the rest of the Dark Jak powers. It's honestly awe-inspiring how much
definitely make two
content this
big
game
ones with
manages
this.
to deliver the player, given that it's a PS2 game released in October of 2003. I feel like a lot of people don't even understand how impressive this game is for its time. Now, speaking
Well, I get how impressive it is, but this is far more impressive, okay, senor? Okay?
All right. Not enough. It's not enough. Not enough. It's not enough. Turn the TV off. Turn the TV off.
Cringe.
All right. So now we're gonna make big giant fucking circles right here and right here. And you just trust me. Trust the process. Okay? The process loves you. And yeah, you just gotta go with it. If I remember correctly, it was 34 was the magic number between this hole right here that I don't know if you can see and the edge over here before you get this flap. I think that was 34, but let's check. I think I'm gonna go full screen. Can I go full screen? I can. And then.
Of being.
Oh wait. Okay. Oh, here it is. Okay, there. And then maybe. Oh. Make. Oh. This one bigger. Yeah, let's move right there for now. That should be good. What do you think? Do we like that? Eh?
On the PS2, Jak 2 was originally only released for the PS2, although it did eventually receive ports to the PlayStations 3, 4, and Vita. That said, just like I did with my coverage of the Precursor Legacy, I opted to play through the unofficial fan-handled decompilation Open Goal PC port of Jak 2, and man, what a port it is.
I sing one of these songs for you. From the mists of time, Mars light would shine.
Whoa there, Iron Lungs. Just tell us what we need to do.
Okay, so here's where a little... Here's where... Hi. Here's where the tricky part is. You gotta draw the circle. I was thinking of doing that one, you know, the good old find your center and then do the little stringy thing to draw the circle, you know what I mean? That's probably gonna go as the most accurate circle unless I can find something that is exactly that big in a circle. That big in a circle. Alright. I am procrastinating this. Honestly, kind of want to hit the bong again. I'm going to go say hi to my love. Be right back. I'm not going to press play. I'll play the music.
Seconds away from crying, left me in a hole of fading light. Everywhere I go, I can't deny. Time we face, is there any other way for you to be my halo? Is there any other way? Just draw me close. If the stars I've been hanging up for you fall apart, I will follow if you let me lose. It's all the lights have found a way back. Darling, it will be just you and I, slowly dancing in the shadows. never thought we once would do. Starting on your way, dreaming on a world to faded lights. Everywhere I go, I think it's time. It's time we face any other way for you to be my halo. Is there any other way? Show me close any other way for you to be my halo. Is there any other way? Show me close any other way for you to be my halo. Is there any other way? Show me close. Is there any other way for you to be my halo? I'm running out of time to save myself from falling out and off the edge again now. I'm running through the seconds in my chest, but I keep waiting for the time I can. Everywhere I look, it's counting down. I'm running out, pushing for the moment I can breathe and pull my head above the tide of this crowd. I'm running out, holding on to something in my soul that tells me now's the time to stay away.
Okay, enough. Enough. No mas. Enough is enough.
Counting down, counting down.
No. Stop it, sir. Stop it. It's time to work. Stop fucking around. We're gonna work now. All right.
As of this video's
how we work.
release, Jak 2's unofficial PC port is still in beta, and as such has a few glitches and errors, but I encountered such a small number of graphical glitches that it was basically negligible. I mean, I saw maybe 2 or 3 texture errors across my time in the game, and that was it. Although there was a glitch where sometimes booting the game up would launch 2 versions of the game at once for some reason, which confused me. But I'm not sure if that was a port problem, or if I just accidentally did that somehow. But either way, it only happened like 3 times, and I just turned off the other launcher when it happened, so it was no big deal. Using the Open Goal port, I was able to play through the entire game start to finish while taking advantage of the improved graphical fidelity, high frame rate, and native widescreen support, so I really can't recommend it enough. Of course, I did put some time into the PS2 version as well, just to get a feel for both of them, and there are a few things you might notice being absent from the original PS2 version, such as pressure sensitivity. But really, after playing both the PS2 version and the PC version, I found the absence of such minor features to be totally acceptable personally. Like I said earlier, Naughty Dog brought over the incredible technology from the Precursor legacy, which allowed them to create the massive explorable open world of Haven City that you're seeing now, and it works almost as if this is what they were striving towards the whole time when making the first game, even though I'm pretty sure that isn't the case. The seamless transitions are still present, and although we have a few what I think might be loading areas disguised as airlocks, there are absolutely zero straight up load screens, which means you're in the action from the start of the game straight to the end. Not to mention, it all looks fantastic. Of course, once again, this footage is on a PC running a native 2K resolution and buttery smooth high frame rate, but even comparing it to the PS2
Okay, we might need to do a little bit of a reassessment of the things. Or not. Or we just make the biggest fucking thing we can. And then we'll figure out the rest later. Right? Because fuck it. Yeah. Alright. Sorry. Had a lapse of judgment there for a second.
Classic port, you'll see it still looked incredible there too. And the key factor in this is Jak 2's brilliant art style. All of the humanoid characters we see are called humans in-game, but of course, they all sport the distinctive pointy ears that give them an almost fantasy-like quality as though they're elven or something. Everything we see has a cartoon-adjacent execution to its design, which has allowed the game's visuals to age beautifully over time. A lot of the animations are still cartoonish and hyper-exaggerated, just like they were in the first game, and there's probably double the amount of animations in Jak 2 compared to the Precursor legacy. Hell, there might actually be triple the amount across all of the things you'll be doing in this game. A lot of these animations come in the form of the game's cutscenes, of which there are, again, roughly double the amount. The Precursor legacy had about 45 minutes of real animated cutscenes across its runtime, but Jak 2 boasts nearly 2 hours of cutscenes, most of which are significantly more involved and intense than anything we saw in the first game. The need for all of these additional cutscenes comes from Jak 2's far more involved story, which, in a lot of ways, almost feels like the real first game and makes the actual first game feel more like a prologue to show what Jak was doing as a child before he grew up into the Jak we play as in this game. Given the significantly larger and more complex storytelling of Jak 2 compared to its predecessor, I'll have to spend a lot more time on it than I did on the Precursor legacy story. And naturally, spoilers are ahead. Okay, so Jak 2 actually picks up shortly after the real ending of the Precursor legacy showed the gang opening a portal to reveal a blinding white light. Jak, Daxter, Kira, and Samos all worked together to move that massive Precursor ring to Samos' hut, where they are preparing to activate it using a device called a Rift Writer that they found with the gate itself.
Daxter, don't touch anything!
I need a string. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to string. Because, like, I could use a wire, but I think a string would be better, so I can cut it to size.
Once they activate the portal, a giant monster comes flooding out of it with a bunch of flying beasts of some kind, like they just somehow started the apocalypse or something. In a panic, Jak starts mashing buttons and sends them all flying through the portal into a wormhole, where they end up falling off of the machine and landing in some kind of city they've never seen before.
Okay, I swear, that's the last time I ever touch any stupid precursor crap!
There he is. Move in. Step away from the...
Shout out to my girlfriend. If you're out there watching me, I love you. Okay. Where? Oh, where? In the loose end. mean, I guess I see one right here. Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Animal! Ah! Forget the rat. The Baron wants him. We've been waiting for you.
Don't worry, Jack. I'll save you before you know it.
2 years pass from here, and we're shown that in those 2 years, Jack has been continuously tortured and experimented on by the city's tyrannical leader, Baron Praxis.
You should at least be dead with all the dark eco I pumped into you.
Praxis has been trying to create a dark warrior to fight for him against an invasive force of monsters who live outside of the city and continuously attempt to overtake it, called Metalheads. We'll talk a bit more about them later. In the meantime, Jack's experimentation is considered a failure as they leave him with plans to kill him later that day. This is when Daxter shows up just in the nick of time to try and free Jack from his bindings, and we're shown that not only can Jack talk now, I assume as a result of the experimentation, but he can also transform into a dark eco-infected monster.
You can do it. Jack, easy now. Easy, buddy. It's your old pal Daxter, remember?
Daxter?
What the heck was that? Sheesh! Remind me not to piss you off. Come on, tall, dark, and gruesome. We're out of here.
Oh yeah, the characters all do light swearing throughout the game now because it's so cool, mature, and edgy. Well, by early 2000s standards anyway. This didn't bother me at all, to be honest. I'm always super endeared by these old T for teen games that aren't gratuitously adult, but are also trying to have a bit of an edge to them. The game actually starts here, and the player is able to finally begin controlling Jack as he and Daxter fight their way through this facility. I like this set piece. They're clearly making an effort to give a greater sense of scale to the game with guards shooting at you, like this. Speaking of guards, this is where we're introduced to one of the game's 2 present enemy factions, this one being the Crimson Guard. These guys act as a kind of military presence enforcing the will of Baron Praxis. They aren't always hostile to the player and inhabit the world alongside other NPCs, but can attack you if provoked in the open world or during a mission where they're the primary enemy. They act as one of the main foils to the player here, so get used to seeing them everywhere. After escaping the fortress, Jack wanders into the streets of the new city, only to immediately encounter an old man named Kor standing in the street with a young child as the two interact.
Hello, strangers. My name is Kor. May I help?
You look like a reasonably smart man. I want information. Where the hell am I?
Sorry. He's new to the whole conversation thing.
The old man explains to Jack that he is in Haven City, which is currently under an extreme totalitarian reign under Baron Praxis. Before he can go into much detail, a group of Crimson Guards come wandering up to prove the old man's point.
By order of His Eminence, the Grand Protector of Haven City, Baron Praxis, everyone in this section is hereby under arrest for suspicion of harboring underground fugitives. Surrender and die!
Excuse me, sir. Don't you mean surrender or die?
Not in this city. Protect us from these guards, and I'll introduce you to someone who can help you.
Yeah, don't be fooled by the game's edginess, because it hasn't lost any of its humor from the original game. In fact, I think this game is quite a bit funnier at times than the first one ever was. Daxter's comedic relief seems to work a lot better in this game, and plays a great juxtaposition to how the rest of the game is taking itself more seriously. In order to protect the old man and the child, Jack spurgs out into Dark Jack and annihilates the guards in swift fashion.
That was cool! Do it again.
Something's happening to me. Something he did. I can't control it.
There is an underground group waging war against Baron Praxis. Its leader, the Shadow, could use fighters like you. Go to the slums, find a dead-end alley near the city wall. Ask for Torn. He can help you.
So after that bit is where the game finally gives the player full free reign to play the game and explore Haven City's open world. From here, the game plays out in a very similar fashion to what you would expect from most any GTA-like title. The player goes between a series of set mission givers as the story progresses. Some of these missions can be played in different orders, but overall it is still very much a linear progression of levels throughout the story. This flowchart actually shows you all of the available missions and the rough progression in which they can be be completed. I really like this new formula, and it feels like an almost obvious evolution of how the Precursor legacy played, but more fully realized now. Being able to progress through an actual lived-in city where we see hundreds of citizens going about their daily lives does a lot to invite the player to more fully immerse themselves into this new world they've just discovered. And the ability to pick and choose how you go about completing certain missions adds a new level of player agency, which is typically more than welcome in my opinion. After a bit of driving around Haven City, Jack
Probably can't see that circle, but I'm really proud of it. It's looking really good. It's like perfectly like what I needed. I'm happy. Now here comes the tricky part. How thick do we make this?
and Daxter do wind up finding the so-called Resistance hideout, where they meet two new characters in the form of Tess and Torn. Tess doesn't say anything here yet, but she does play a minor role in the story later on. Just keep her in your mind. The main conversation here is with Torn himself.
Maybe this guy's a mute, like you used to be.
The two talk, and Torn is very distrustful of Jack, but gives him and Daxter the chance to prove themselves by seeking out a banner in a part of the Badlands called Dead Town, and bringing it to him in order to prove both their loyalty and capability. That little throwaway line about how Jack used to be a mute is pretty much the only explanation they give to why Jack talks now, by the way. And you know what? I'm fine with it. I think Jack having a voice of his own helps the storytelling tremendously and is an overall improvement for the game anyway, so I'm calling it a good decision. I'm just assuming that the trauma of the torture knocked something around in his brain and now he can talk or something. Even after they retrieve the banner from Dead Town, the story slows down a bit for a while, as the next several missions will be the player running errands and completing a series of minor tasks across various areas in the Badlands. The story starts to pick up again after completing a few of these missions when Torn sends Jack and Dax into the Baron's fortress to destroy a massive munitions depot. Daxter rightly calls out Torn for the fact that he's sending them in alone to do it instead of offering to help, but Jack's vendetta against Praxis makes him approve of it anyway.
That's fine. I want the Baron to know that it's me who's hurting him.
I love Edgelord Jack. It's in this fortress, after running from a massive tank trying to kill them, that Jack and Dax not only infiltrate the fortress, but also overhear a few of the guards giving whole barrels of eco to the other enemy type in the game I brought up earlier called Metalheads.
These barrels are the latest shipment of eco. The Baron says take them and get out.
Metalheads in the city? Why are the guards giving them eco?
So we already know that the Crimson Guard are the city's military-styled police/enforcers of Baron Praxis's will, but now I need to talk a little bit about the Metalheads. The Metalheads, whose real name is revealed later in the game to be the Horaquan, are a biomechanical alien race of various different types of beings made up of organic matter and mechanical alterations. A war has been waging between the Metalheads, the Precursor race, and now humanity for centuries. When Jack, Daxter, Kira, and Samos opened up the Rift Portal, they accidentally freed the Metalhead army from the place where they ended up trapped after a long battle with the ancient Precursor race. Once the portal was opened, the Metalheads were once again freed to wreak havoc on the world. It'll make sense later, I promise, but what you need to know now is that they're malevolent, they want the complete eradication of human life, and their need of eco to survive has resulted in a shaky agreement between them and Baron Praxis. Either way, Jack and Dax manage to trick a tank into setting off a chain reaction that results in the depot's destruction.
This place has too much excitement. We need to move back to the country.
It's after this that the duo runs a delivery job for Torn and ends up meeting a comically obese mob boss who runs a bar called the Hip Hog Heaven Saloon as a front. He's named Crew with a K.
Hey, big guy. You crew? Well, we shook the heat, and your shipment's in primo condition.
That's good,
because a cargo of rare eco ore is worth more than 10 of your lives. And of course, I'd be forced to collect slowly.
Crew is one of Jack's various mission givers across the game. His missions often involve Jack collecting items, clearing areas, and so on. The other character is named Sig, a wastelander who works both as...
Honestly fucked up a little, bumped into the mic, made a little bit of a mess, but I think we did it. I think we should be able to do this. All right. Knife!
as a bodyguard and hired muscle for Crew. Sig will play an important supporting role specifically in the Crew subplot, and Jack's relationship with Crew will also be really important to how he's perceived later given Crew's questionable moral standing. Although it is Crew who gives Jack his first gun, which, yeah, like I brought up earlier, Jack too introduces guns.
Lots of guns.
Well, actually, it's technically only one gun called the Morph Gun, but said Morph Gun can, as the name implies, morph, changing its shape and capability into multiple different types of firearm. I'll talk more about that later, but for now, just know that Jack is packing heat. So Jack does some work for Crew alongside Sig, his hired muscle, as they travel outside the city walls to collect some metalhead trophies for Crew's saloon, and also do some work down in the sewers to clear out some automatic sentry turrets. In exchange, Jack grills Crew for the information he wanted about why Baron Praxis is giving eco to the metalhead enemies outside the walls, and predictably, it's to maintain a deal that they will continue to attack the city just enough to keep the city's population scared and in support of his rule.
Yeah, but how long can that deal last?
The rightful heir to the Haven City throne is a child being kept safe by the underground resistance leader named the Shadow until the Baron can be deposed and the royal line restored to power. But Jack doesn't really seem to care about any of that. He's still focused entirely on gaining access to Baron Praxis so he can kill him for torturing him for 2 years. Which is where Crew's proposition comes in to send Jack in as a racer in the city's biggest sport called knife racing.
I've already signed your name to save time.
The winner of the Class 1 race will receive the grand prize of a palace tour with Baron Praxis himself, which is where Jack plans to enact his vengeance by straight up assassinating the guy. Man, we've come a long way from the whimsy of an innocent Jack fighting lurkers and collecting power cells to save his home. Unfortunately, however, this plan kinda comes crashing down when Jack and Dax meet the racing manager and she basically tells them that she's not at all interested in letting them race.
Look, I don't mean to be rude. You did get here fast, but I'm not interested in any new drivers right now, and I've got work to do. Listen, if you think you've got the guts to race in this town, try taking my prototype jet board out on the stadium course. Beat the stadium challenge, and maybe I'll consider you for my team.
Yeah, you already know what's up. They put a skateboarding mechanic in the game, and it's pretty great actually. Maybe this was due to the success of the Tony Hawk games, or just the overall popularity of skateboarding at the time, but it fits in really well with the game, both tonally and mechanically, while also lending a lot to the stylistic wish fulfillment fantasy of the game. By the time I was nearing the end of my playthrough, I was using this thing literally as much as I could, and if anything, I feel like it could have been integrated even more than it was. I don't mean that design-wise. There's actually tons of platforming sections that require it, and even entire areas dedicated to using it, but I mean narratively. I love how crucial the knife racing subplot is to Jack 2's story, and since we already have this whole skate park built here inside the same stadium, I think it would have been really cool if there was a jetboard championship thing as well. This is the only time you have to come here in the whole game. You can come back optionally later if you want to just play around with it, but it's not the same. A hoverboard subplot similar to the knife racing one would have been so cool. It didn't need to be as elaborate, but maybe just a little something, you know? Although the game is still overflowing with content, so it's not like I can complain that they didn't do enough. I'm just pointing out what I think could have been a cool idea. Anyway, back to the main plot. Despite Jack's overcoming the jetboard challenge, the race manager still isn't impressed with him due to his working for Crew, whom she is not a fan of.
Listen, don't you have someone to collect money from or beat up or something?
You don't like us, do you?
You work for that slimeball Crew. What's not to like?
Looks like you've won a few races. Isn't it true the city champion gets to tour the palace?
Yeah? Why?
Could you get me into the palace?
A friendly visit, I gather.
Yeah, I'm a real fan of the Baron.
Okay, I'll help you out if you stop bothering me.
She tells Jack about an old service elevator that can take him up to the palace where he can infiltrate from there if he can find a way to restore power. So with that intel in mind, Jack heads back to meet with Torn in the...
I feel like I played this game. I don't remember any of this. This cardboard's kind of annoying. We'll see how it does.
The underground hideout again to fill him in on the Baron's deal with the metalheads. The news understandably frustrates Torn, who tells Jack and Dax that they need to find the power station where another Resistance hideout is located with a warp gate that will give them access to the strip mine and rescue an underground informant there named Vin, who is under attack and too valuable to lose.
Oh, thank goodness. Where's the army? Where it? What? Just you two? What do they think I'm worth?
I'm beginning to wonder that myself.
Vin works at the local power station as an overseer of the city's eco-grid and will act as another mission giver for the rest of the game's story. His missions typically involve sending our heroes out on jobs, normally having to do with pushing back the metalheads' offense against the city's resources and infrastructure to buy time until the Resistance can formulate a plan to take down Praxis. With Vin secured, Torn then sends Jack to link up with a different underground informant named Ashlyn. If you couldn't tell yet, there are significantly more characters in this game than the first one, and pretty much all of them are unique and distinguishable. They've put together an entire cast here, and each of them plays an important role in the story, which is something I love to see. If you removed literally any of these side characters from the plot, you'd actually have to rewrite parts of the story, particularly the ending, in order to accommodate for their absence, and that's generally a good indicator for the quality of a story's relationship with its characters.
Watching me take care of those metalheads was, pretty exciting. Wasn't it, Sugar? Hey! Sweet stripes! Give me them digits so I can look you up sometime!
Ashlyn tells Jack about this plan the Baron has to collect all of these ancient artifacts from an old dead hero named Mar before directing him to go meet up with an old soothsayer named Onin. Also, whoever designed the characters in this game seems to believe that every single female character must be wearing a crop top at all times, and it really just sends me back to the late 90s and early 2000s again when we were seeing this kind of style in media a lot. This used to be the style back then.
Wow! What a woman!
And so Jack and Daxter follow Ashlyn's advice and seek out this supposed soothsayer in the bazaar section of the city, where we're introduced to even more colorful and unique characters.
Cool! Check out all the dead stuff!
Ow! Touch the goods again, rat boy, and you'll be counting with your toes.
This is Onin the soothsayer and her interpreter parrot named Pecker.
I know. My mother, she was very vindictive. Onan welcomes you, blah 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 blah, the usual boring salutations. She says it is good to see you again, Jack. But we've never met before. Before, after, it is all the same.
In this instance, she tells them they must go to the nearby Precursor Mountain and retrieve 3 particular artifacts, which end up starting the player down a pretty major set of side quests that'll end up tying into the main story later. Before bothering to do any of that, however, Jack gets an idea for how they might be able to get the power to that service elevator into the palace back online and reaches out to Vin, the eco-grid overseer they just rescued.
We need you to switch on the access elevator in one of the palace's support towers.
Remember, Jack's main motivation here is to
kill Praxis!
So all of these other things are currently just distractions he thinks he has to deal with in order to get access to the Baron. And so Jack begins his first assassination attempt by taking the elevator up and carefully navigating to the palace. This is one of my favorite set pieces of the game, not only because of the scale, but also we can legitimately see the entire city from here, and I think that's just so cool. From saving the world to attempting an assassination on a major political figure. This series really is one of a kind. Jack finally reaches the glass above the throne room just in time to overhear an important conversation between the metalhead leader, Praxis, and Errol, who I'll get to later.
I grow impatient with your puny gestures. Give me the agreed upon ego soon, or the deal is off, and your precious city
will pay the price.
He's toying with us! Let me lead an assault on the nest before it's too late! I can take him!
Patience, Commander. No one has ever penetrated the Metalhead nest, you know that. I've seen what comes of such foolish plans.
As our two heroes listen in on the conversation, they learn that Ashlyn, the girl they helped just a bit earlier that same day, is the daughter of Baron Praxis, and it appears she hasn't been very agreeable in the plan to uncover some kind of tomb.
And find that child! If you'd spent half as much time looking for the little brat as you spent flirting with that mechanic girl, we would have pinned his royal ass to a wall long ago.
As you wish. With enough persuasion, I'm sure our spy... What was that?
Well, now it's going down, and Jack finally gets his chance to take down the Baron in a full-on boss battle where Praxis is in his very own flying mech.
So, we have a rat in the walls, do we? A rat in his boy, it seems. Back for a few more Dark Eco treatments?
So far as boss battles go, this is a lot more involved than anything we saw in the first game, and everything about it from the design of the Baron's mech to the smooth rule of 3 based level design of the battle's progression is brilliant. It's also surprisingly difficult. I mean, Jak 2's reputation for its difficulty is something I'll get into later, but this single battle took me multiple attempts as I learned his patterns and got used to dodging his attacks. Not to mention the narrative weight of what's going on here. I mean, this guy had Jak strapped to a bed under a mechanical terror device for 2 years, pumping him full of Dark Eco, which we learned in the first game is a corrupting force and even caused Gaul and Maya to turn evil in the first place. So the stakes are very real, and the impact is on full display, not just visually as we fight him multiple miles above the city streets under a darkened sky in the pouring rain, but also narratively as Jak fights for revenge. It's great, and another example of why Naughty Dog was among the very best of video game developers back then. Of course, after a hard-fought battle, Jak and Daxter do finally beat him and send him running away.
The dark powers I gave you can't protect you forever! Since I made you, I can destroy you. We'll meet again soon!
Yeah, whatever. Bye-bye.
From here on out is when things start heating up and the stakes continue to raise. There's a series of side missions that Jak and Dax have to complete, such as collecting those artifacts for Onin, for example. I've seen a lot of people call this game a GTA 3 clone, and I could see why they'd say that, and I can even accept that there's a degree of validity to that claim. But personally, I found Jak 2's art style, characters, and hyper-angsty tone to be so much more endearing than GTA ever was. Now, I have nothing against GTA, of course, but it's never really been my thing, admittedly, so my saying this doesn't mean much. That said, I really do feel like Jak 2 has more than enough charm, personality, and unique qualities to set it apart as very much its own thing. I'll touch a little bit more on the whole GTA 3 comparison thing later on, but for now, there's still a lot left to do, and the situation is continuing to escalate. After putting in some work for Onin, Jak and Daxter head back to the underground hideout where they're confronted by Torn about the trouble they're causing across the city.
The city's on high alert. What the hell did you two do?
We see more of the child, who is meant to take the throne once Praxis is deposed, and are also informed that the Metalhead army is mobilizing for a much larger scale attack than they've previously attempted. Jak then confronts Torn on his connection to Ashlyn, given she's the daughter of Baron Praxis, and Torn just avoids the question outright and assigns them another mission. This results in Jak and Dax heading back into the Badlands outside of the city to clear out a Metalhead occupation of a supposed sacred site that the Shadow, whom Jak and Daxter still have not met yet, needs to keep safe. Although upon arriving, our heroes are met with a stunning revelation.
Is that... No, it couldn't be. That's not...
It's Samos's hut.
But what? How? When? Where? Why?
We're in the future, Dax. This horrible place is our world.
So yeah, that's one of the big plot twists. The rift portal from the start of the game didn't take them to a different dimension or even a different place, just a different point in time. Far, far into the future, it turns out. Looks like a lot has changed as time passed. The whole world has become a dystopian nightmare and a city being attacked repeatedly by aliens who want humanity dead. It's intense. Anyway, arriving back to the hideout again, yet another revelation hits as Jak and Dax finally meet the Resistance leader who calls himself the Shadow.
The Shadow's decided it's time to meet you.
Why is that place in the old ruins so important to you?
There's a powerful energy force at the old house. The metalheads are drawn to it.
No kidding. We used to know the guy that lived there.
So, you're the new recruits who keep getting into trouble.
Oh, no, not you!
Old Samos the Green Sage has been the Shadow all along, yet when Jack and Daxter act as though they know him, he shows no memory of ever having met them, not to mention looking quite a bit younger.
Yeah, you used to look older than dirt and uglier than a knotted stump. What gives? Did you get a little nip and tuck while we were gone?
It's all to no avail, and Samos says he's never met them before and doesn't have time for any of this as he redirects their attention to a metalhead attack on Haven Forest where he draws his power from. So of course Jack and Daxter head out to the forest to clear them out and restore peace to the woodlands. This is a good time to point out how eclectic the environments are in this game. I mean, we've got everything from dystopian sci-fi to dilapidated ruins, sewers, underground mines, and even beautiful lush forests. These areas outside of Haven City aren't massive or anything, with most of them being totally explorable in 10 to 20 minutes or so depending, but most of them are reused in different ways throughout the game to ensure the player doesn't get bored of a single environment by being stuck there for too long. Jack, too, has some seriously brilliant pacing. When they're done in Haven Forest, Crew hits them up again to lend a hand to his companion Bruter, who represents a faction we haven't seen since the original game.
An associate of mine, Bruter, works with me in the forced labor trade.
You mean the slave trade?
I prefer freedom challenged. Lurkers are the city's low-class labor. Bruter pays me handsomely to help him free lurkers and get them safely out of the city.
Yeah, lurkers are still around after all this time, and they've been enslaved to work for the city as a kind of slave class, but we get to free a handful of them and deliver them to a lurker shop owner named Bruder, who then helps them escape into the Badlands where they can at least be free. Despite serving as the primary enemy faction in the first game, their role in this one is very minor, and at no time is it ever antagonistic. So it's really interesting to see how much has changed in this dark new future. Oh yeah, and don't forget about the races we need to win in order to get our tour of the palace and a second stab at taking down Praxis, although the race manager didn't really seem to like Jack from the sound of it based on those first few interactions they had.
We destroyed Crew's cargo.
Great. I'll send you a medal. Now, if you don't mind, I'm on a deadline, so scram.
Are you always this difficult?
Let me handle this, Jack. Listen, lady, we beat your stupid course, and we can outrace anybody in this city.
Wait, that voice.
You just lost a date with Orange Lightning. Let's go, Jack.
Daxter, it is you!
Kira!
Oh, I never thought I'd be so glad to see your furry mug. And Jack, you look different.
It's been a tough ride.
The Baron pumped our boy here full of dark eco, and it did something to him. Now he's got super moves or something. And a few anger issues as well.
There's a bit of a reunion between the three protagonists of the first game, but it quickly reorients to their objectives again. Kira wants to find a way back to their own time where they came from, but Jack still only cares about killing Baron Praxis. He tells Kira she should go see her father because he's so different now, and she offers to let him race on her team so he can win access to the palace. Which leads to the first of 3 knife races, which I already talked a bit about earlier. They're all exactly what you think they are. You try and beat a group of other racers in a small racetrack as you push for the finish line. It plays just like the rest of the vehicles in the game, only it's a bit faster and you can grab some boost power-ups for some added strategy in how you complete the race. At one point, I was actually considering framing this script from the lens of Jack 2 being one of the greatest Star Wars games of all time, because although it obviously has nothing to do with Star Wars, it also features literally everything I've ever wanted in a Star Wars game. Angsty anti-hero with a good heart fighting his corrupted dark nature, open world dystopian sci-fi city setting, cool vehicle mechanics, different types of weapons with shooting, melee, and platforming features, swoop bike racing minigames, and let's be honest, these things really are just swoop bikes. I mean, come on, if we replace the Crimson Guard with stormtroopers and call it the Empire, then we're fighting alongside a rebel resistance to take down an Imperial occupation. Hell, even the Zoomer vehicles look just like the speeders from Attack of the Clones.
What took us so long?
Anyway, back to the knife race. Of course, our boy Jack wins, and we get a fancy new trophy.
Hey, I watched your race today. You were pretty amazing out there.
Oh, thanks. Kira, this is Ashlyn. She's just...
Everyone knows who she is.
And Kira's...
A friend. A very good friend.
Thanks for helping out with that tanker, Jack. You saved a lot of lives.
By this point, Jack and Daxter have gathered a list of solid contacts and characters to support their fight to save the city as things finally prepare to kick into the third act. The pair venture back out into the Badlands where they activate a massive laser of some kind by installing the 3 precursor.
Okay, I need a little break or else I'm gonna fuck this up. It's looking good so far. Also I like that I got this one because I think I can make another one out of this one. It's like big enough. Woo! My God. I need a little snack or something. It's taking so long. This sounded funner in idea and not in execution. I'm gonna get it done though. I do think the bong's getting ridiculous, and I'm gonna pull out a joint.
Artifacts they've been collecting as per Onan's request. And upon activation, the said light tower destroys a massive statue of the Baron, revealing the entrance to the tomb of Mar, which holds an ancient precursor stone capable of incredible power. That precursor stone is kind of like the game's MacGuffin, which I think is fine because it's a minor role in the overall plot, but it is still an important artifact that all involved parties are anxious to get their hands on. According to Samos, there is an intense trial awaiting the young child we've been protecting all of this time within that tomb, and only he can overcome it since he is the blood descendant of Mar himself, the long-dead hero of Haven City. So with the tomb open, Jack and Daxter link back up with Samos, Core, and the kid inside of the tomb.
Tests of manhood are sure to be fraught with peril, and Mar's heir must face them alone.
It's okay, kid. You can do it. It's just a deep, pitch black, sure to be filled to the brim with painful death old tomb. I wouldn't go in there.
An ancient voice speaks out from above the door as the echo of a precursor recognizes the child as the heir of Mar, calling him the Chosen One, but as it begins opening the door, it stops and suddenly begins to reclose the door, stating that the child is still too young to undertake the trials.
This child is too young to face the tests.
What? No! Do something, Jack!
Jack, remember the sure to be filled to the brim with painful death part?
Trapped in an ancient underground tomb, Jack and Daxter have to face a series of different challenges, from puzzle solving to platforming, in a shockingly difficult section of the game. Not to mention a cool chance to play as Daxter in a series of Crash Bandicoot throwback sequences running from a giant boulder.
It's not just a boulder, it's a rock.
And then running from an enormous arachnid. These sequences are also really hard, just like everything else in the level, and took me so many attempts to finally overcome them. It is kinda cool that we got to play as Daxter by himself for a bit though. After the two reunite, they finally find the precursor stone as another giant statue reveals some lore about the metalheads and how they wiped out the precursors. He also talks about the ancient hero Mar having fended them off to found Haven City. The big emerald on his chest is the so-called precursor stone, supposedly imbued with ancient power. So it's convenient that before Jack can grab it, Baron Praxis comes flying in, steals the stone, and sets the stage for another boss battle with him.
Now I will gain the power I need to crush my enemies!
It's an okay battle, but quite a bit less exciting than the first one in my opinion. You just knock these time bombs into his machine while avoiding his attacks. Simple enough. It's all for naught, however, because Praxis still gets away with the stone, leaving Jack and Daxter to make their way out of the tomb to try and rescue their friends who were taken captive by the Crimson Guards. Returning to the hideout, Jack finds Torn distraught as he admits to being the one who revealed to Praxis that the Resistance was in the tomb pursuing the stone. He gave up the information after the Baron threatened to kill his own daughter, Ashlyn, and Torn Torn folded. In a last bid to salvage the situation, Torn says he can get the door to the fortress open if Jack is willing to go in and try to stage a rescue attempt.
It'll be a tough fight through the fortress. Probably.
That guy talks kind of funny. Why am I not on camera? Alright. Like that. Like that. So, I forgot what I was saying. I need a better knife. I have to go to the garage to get a fucking knife. Yeah, I need like a box cutter knife.
Suicide.
You just get that door open. I'll be there.
Ever the angsty hero, Jack doesn't shy away from the challenge, which sends him and Daxter straight into the fortress where they have to fight their way through a small army of guards to find the prison where their friends are being held. Not only do they find Tess there, but also Samos. Both Samoses, actually.
What took you so long? I added 6 rings to my trunk waiting for you two to get me out of here. Great yakkow horns! What happened to you, Jack?
Wait a minute! You're you! I mean, the other you! I mean, you know what I mean.
The two Samoses argue back and forth about what their new priority should be, not agreeing on much before they all head back through the warp gate to escape the prison. Shortly after that, Jack and Daxter take a break at the saloon where Crew's bodyguard, Sig, tries to tell Jack that he thinks they may be in over their heads this time, and that he's planning on getting out from under Crew's employment. Seems like Sig is worried about the direction things are taking lately, and his trust in Crew is fading fast. From there, they leave and return to the arena to prepare for the Class 2 race that they'll need to win in order to qualify for the finals so Jack can get close to the Baron inside the palace. Yeah, there's all kinds of plot lines happening at once here, but it's all relevant, I promise.
Well, if it isn't the dark eco-freak.
Where's Kira?
Don't worry. I'm keeping a close eye on her. You know, Kira loves a winner. Someday she'll be my mechanic.
Stay away from her.
Errol's the best racer I've ever seen.
He's not what you think.
And you're a good judge of character? Ha! Look at you. People say you get angry and change. Besides, the Jack I knew wouldn't be working for a guy like Crew.
I need Crew's connections to fight the Baron. Without my... You know what? Do it your way, and I'll do it mine. Just don't come crying to me when the walls fall down.
This is kind of a strange interaction, I feel like. Maybe not so much on Jack's part, since he feels as on-brand angsty as you could expect a 17-year-old teen to be in this situation. Yeah, he's 17 here, by the way. But Kira's jumping to criticize Jack for working with Crew when she...
Jack is 17? It's blowing my mind. I did not know. I don't know how old I thought he was, but 17?
herself has done deals with Crew before is odd. Not to mention, she should know how much Jack's been doing to fight for the city's freedom by this point. It just feels a bit forced. Also, come to think of it, Jack abandoning the race so easily like this makes no sense when he knows that this is his ticket to get to Praxis, which has been his singular motivation literally this whole time over everything else. So storming off as if he doesn't care about the race doesn't make any sense. It's lucky for him that Daxter steps up to the plate so willingly here and also wins the race, because if he hadn't, then Jack would have thrown away part of what he's been working towards over basically nothing.
Hey there, we showed those Class 2 losers a thing or two, huh?
I saw. You drifted a little high in the turns a few times, but you hung in there. I'm proud of you, Dax.
Really?
Yeah. You did great.
No, we did great. Right, partner?
I'm gonna be honest here, seeing how much Daxter looks up to Jack and how much it meant to him to get some genuine praise from him kind of warmed my heart. These two have such a great dynamic, and Daxter's brash personality makes a good juxtaposition against Jack's new gloomy demeanor. It's clear that Daxter thinks Jack is cool and wants to be like him. It would have been nice if Jack took a little accountability for nearly losing them the race though. The racing drama isn't over yet, as back at the saloon, Crew tells Jack that because people are so enamored with him as a hope for the city, they've all bet on him to win the upcoming race, and so he bet a large amount on the current champion, Errol,
Dark Eco Freak,
to win the race instead, and then tells Jack to throw the race on purpose so they can all make a lot of money together.
What do you say, my boy?
I'd say you're gonna lose a lot of money, because I'm going to race, and I intend to win.
Oh, you little... You're becoming more trouble than you're worth. I wouldn't get too comfy if I was you. Everyone's expendable.
In a hurry to die, boy? Well, we don't have to wait for the big race. We can do this right now. One-on-one, through the city, using accelerator rings. Hit every ring from start to finish. Miss even one ring and it's over. Kira already thinks you're a loser, and I'll prove it now, once and for all.
You're on.
Yeah, so these two race through the literal city against each other for no stakes, just to raise the dramatic tension between the characters. There's no Jack novelizations, but this whole story really feels like something out of a young adult's novel, and I say that endearingly. After showing Errol what's up, Jack claims victory, and Daxter throws out what's probably one of my favorite new insults of all time.
You were bottle-fed, weren't you?
With that done, Jack and Daxter are told to go back out to Samos's old hut again and retrieve something called a life seed, which he has been preparing since all the way back in the past before they were thrown into the future. This life seed is what will allow his younger self to attain the green sage powers that he now has. No idea how the other colored sages got their powers or life seeds if they take this long to prepare, since they all seemed to have had their sagely powers for a while already in the first game, but I guess we're just not supposed to think too deeply into it.
So, let me get this straight. It's fair to say that by bringing your younger self the life seed now, we helped you become the sage you are today. We helped you get your powers in the first place. And you never thanked us?
Thank you, Daxter. Now don't do it!
Young Samos meditates on the life seed and receives a vision for what Baron Praxis plans to do, as it is revealed to him that Praxis is going to try and crack open the precursor stone, which will basically wipe out all life on the planet. Somehow. The story has gone off the rails at this point, and believe it or not, I'm only giving you the parts that I think are needed to fully grasp the plot here. I've skipped over probably half a dozen or more missions that are less crucial just to make it easier to follow and keep it tight-knit. As Jack and Dax go to prepare for their final race in the arena, Kira reveals that she's constructed a replica of the Rift Rider that took them into the future at the start of the game, but that she's missing two key components to make it work. The two things she needs happen to be ancient artifacts that Crew recently paid Jack to recover for him, so Jack already knows exactly where they are, and assures Kira that he'll get them from Crew and make sure she gets them. Also, the two make up after that small fight from before, so that didn't matter for long.
Well, here goes. The race of my life.
Jack, I just wanted you to know, well, you're the best racer I've ever seen.
Hey, what about me? I helped get us here.
Do you want to drive?
Against that crazy loon arrow? No way! You got the handlebars, brother, and you'd better keep us alive or I will never speak to you again. Obviously.
And so our heroes prepare for the final race as they're cheered on by a repetition of 4 animated PNG images across the stadium. The Baron introduces the race in person and announces the grand prize of a month's supply of eco and the coveted palace tour that Jack has been pushing for this whole time. Despite having already fought the Baron twice at this point and failing to kill him both times, it kinda negates the impact of this being some kind of way to get face to face with the Baron when Jack has not only proved he can single-handedly assault their fortress and take on anything they throw at him at this point, but has also already had 2 fights with Praxis and lost both times. I really feel like this knife racing subplot should have resolved itself before Jack entered Mars' tomb, and that we should have seen less Praxis and more Errol in the first 2 acts of the game, rather than the other way around like it is now. That way, when Jack fights Praxis in Mars' tomb...
I'm kinda tired of the Jack thing. Let's watch this.
Where am I? What are these hallways, man? Where am I going? What is it? Where's the stairs go? What is this thing? Oh god, I'm dead. Lord in heaven is above, please.
Yep.
That's me, all right. This is my first Dark Souls experience, and I'll tell you right now, I hate Dark Souls 1. Not because the game is too hard, and not because it's constantly confusing, and not even because it's regularly gaslighting me, just like your ex does to you. No. The reason I hate Dark Souls is the same reason that people love something like the pretzel bacon pub burger from Wendy's. Because once you've had this burger, you can't really enjoy anything else. I mean, people might tell you, hey buddy, just eat some chips, it's better for your cholesterol. But here's the problem. Chips are boring. They only fill you up temporarily. It's a quick hit of dopamine, kind of like playing Valorant. I mean, it's a fun game and all, but after sinking about 3,000 hours into it, I have a problem. But every match starts to feel exactly the same. Nothing really sticks out as memorable. On the other hand, I can remember every single detail very vividly about every embarrassing defeat as I ran back to Quelaag all the way through Blighttown. That shit stays with you. And you see, that's what Dark Souls is to me. It's a game I hate because after playing it, nothing else feels the same. Every single moment, every single death, every victory is permanently burned into my memory. Which is why I can't wait to tell you all about this unforgettable journey that I just had.
That's the last time I'm gonna be helping somebody out. I was told I was just gonna steal some panties. I mean, maybe I shouldn't have smelled them after taking them, but that shit was pretty good though.
Whoops. Second one this week, Janine. Welcome to the Undead Asylum. This is my character. Now, I call him Jimmy, and he is a hardened thief. He's also an undead. He's actually one of many classes you can choose from within Dark Souls, but I decided to go for thief because they just look the coolest. Little did I know, though, that choosing thief would essentially break my entire playthrough, but you'll see that as it happens. On the way, though, we do find these inscriptions on the ground, which I assume these things are just tutorials by the developers, more or less. Making my way downtown, making my way right up. Climbing out, we find a bonfire, a perfect place to relax and take a breather from the rat-infested prison cells before we walk into what would obviously be a trap. You expect me to fight this thing? Hey, buddy, don't look at me. This is your story. I'm just here to narrate. I'm going to fucking die, aren't I? Hey, big fat...
You little shit. You think this is your story? You disgusting Fiat Punto driving shit.
The Asylum Demon is big, strong, and impossible to actually beat. Perhaps because he's a tiny bit British, but he keeps pounding me over and over again into the ground as I scream over and over again, "No, Daddy, no!" Oh. Yeah, that got a little bit sus. But either way, the Asylum Demon is essentially a giant guard that's been put here to make sure that we do not get through. He's meant to stop all the undead in terms of the lore from being able to escape this place unless they are worthy. Who put him here? Well, we do not know that just yet. Oh wait, dude, there's a door over here. Why don't we just do this instead? Figuring out where to go in Dark Souls is kind of like figuring out where the bathroom at your friend's house is late at night. Yeah, I mean, you know it's there, but you'll probably fuck up the first time you try to find it. But God, does it feel good when you do find the right direction. You'll also be able to find a bunch of things like explanations for the combat. I mean, at this point, the game has given me just enough information to understand basic movement mechanics. I've got a stab. I've got a really strong stab. I've got a roll. I've got a dodge. I've got a shield. However, they seem to have again neglected to have actually given me a weapon. Until, of course, I picked up the bandit knife and the shield, which will allow me to do things like dodging and, of course, parrying. But nonetheless, though, after killing a bunch of the hollows in this place, I do also meet the man who saved me out of the prison cell, after dodging a fucking Indiana Jones giant boulder coming my way. Wait, you're the guy who made me steal those panties. God damn it, kill me now, Janine. I have a shield, I have a sword, I have, practically speaking, everything I need now. All right, well, I mean, he's right down there, so we might as well just make the leap. Okay, yeah, dude, I get it. I'll jump. Jeez, man, just give me a moment. Technically speaking, you can jump down here and stab the giant asylum demon right in the head, something that I didn't know you could do. Instead, I just fell off the edge and didn't end up doing that extra damage against the big boy. With the power of God and Ozempic on my side, I beat the asylum demon.
Oh, stupid Birmingham Fiat Punto.
Beating the asylum demon might be the easiest boss in Dark Souls once you figure out where to go and find an actual weapon. But don't worry, every single boss afterwards has a personal vendetta against me to make sure that we suffer. Open the door, rush up, and I pull out my phone to call for...
That's crazy. I had a hard-ass time with the asylum demon. Like, I didn't just beat him. It was sad. There were other bosses that people were like, oh, they're so hard, that I actually beat easy. But the asylum demon was pretty hard for me.
Or Kruber. So, we've arrived in Firelink Shrine, and I mean, this place is essentially the light in the darkness. It's also sort of a pseudo hub. From here, you can go in a lot of different directions. Only issue is, Jimmy didn't know this just yet. So, when I tried to figure out where to go with him early on, I had no clue what I was doing. Hey, look, a real human.
Well, listen carefully then. One of the bells is up above in the undead church. The other bell is back down below the undead burg.
All right, down it is then. Bye-bye. Making my way
Damn, does
down
everybody do that?
to New Londo. That's where we go. Going down there because he said Blighttown is there, so that's what we do. Is this the right place? I don't know, man. The people here look a little bit fucked up. Well, something tells me this wasn't the right direction, but I feel like he was lying to me. Well, here's the thing. It's not necessarily that he's lying to me, but my dumbass brain assumed that maybe something like those messages on the ground were actually not just written by the developers. Remember, I assumed they were tutorials, but having read them here a second time, I assumed again that, hey, maybe this is the developers telling me that I should not trust this guy. And so I made the biggest mistake I possibly...
Yeah, the messages thing is confusing the first time you play it.
Could have made right after reading this. Okay, you know what? The thing he said that he's sketchy. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I wouldn't do that. I'm gonna do. I don't care. I don't care, dude. I'm gonna stab him. Yeah, see, nothing happened. Wait. Why do I hear boss music? So yeah, after mine and Jimmy's obvious fuck up here, we have now pulled aggro on the Crescent Fall Warrior. Now this guy will keep attacking us endlessly, forever, until we fight back. This got me stuck in about a 45-minute loop of not knowing what to do, but it did teach me a few different things. For example, I can go in more than one direction. First time around, I went down to New Londo and, well, that didn't go well. So I figured, well, there's got to be other directions, because clearly going down there was not what I was meant to do. And the second lesson I learned was that if I want to get out of this death loop...
That was so funny. I restart my game because I thought that would make him stop aggroing me, but it didn't. Yeah, he really fucked himself over there.
Of constantly being hammered by this dude, then I've got to have to learn something specific. Parrying. Now, parrying is a game mechanic in Dark Souls 1, which I think is very handy. So, in some way, making mistakes is sort of part of the gameplay loop, and I kind of enjoyed that because most games will not punish you as much as Dark Souls does. Having mastered the art of parrying, I beat the Crescent Warrior, and in some odd way, he seems happy that I took his life, giving me, of course, those two lessons, which is don't attack random NPCs because they might hit you back, and always explore your options in this game because nothing is exactly as it seems. The same way that at the Asylum Demon, I did not need to fight him with a broken sword, I could just exit the arena and find a different path. Well, there's only two directions. He said up or down, and I mean, we did try to go down, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that again. So up it is, baby! The Undead Burrow is a sprawling medieval zone filled with the most vile type of enemies, the Hollows, which we'll quickly find out are, well, quite difficult.
Well, they can't be as bad as that guy, right?
Oh god, why did I say that? So yeah, Hollows are basically, well, just undead who've lost their purpose.
I'm really enjoying this video. Whoa, I froze there for a second.
In some weird way, they're serving as a metaphor for depression and emptiness in some way. They're now just these empty husks that wander around aimlessly and keep attacking us. I don't care if they're husks, bro. They can still fucking kill me, though. Oh, absolutely. The Hollows come in many shapes and sizes. Some even throw firebombs. The Berg has more than enough surprises that will keep you busy when you fight these guys. Some of them will have shields, some of them will have swords, some of them will be having arrows and bows, so you will be struggling most of the time. So here's our first merchant in the Undead Burrow. Pretty friendly guy, honestly. Sells basic items, weapons, and more importantly, he can drop a special weapon, the Uchigatana. Did you just say... katana? Yeah, but... alright then. That's always an option, I guess. But just so you know, though, because we killed him, we're never going to be able to buy an item from this guy ever again. And that goes for pretty much any NPC that we kill like this. But, I mean, I guess it's fine.
Only to find myself killing these dudes, but they're fucking strong. Oh dear God. Oh no. How did I live that? Well, never mind.
Okay. Huh. Okay, well, alright, listen. While he's catching his breath, you may have started noticing something weird going on. You see, every time Jimmy rests at a bonfire, every single enemy respawns. You see, unlike other games, Dark Souls is a game where enemies will always respawn even if you kill them. They are never perma-dead, almost forcing you to learn enemy patterns through constant repetition, creating a sort of infamous run back within the game. It becomes a lot about strategy and patience, to be honest, more than anything else.
Huh. Oh my god, they respawn. Oh, fuck off. Holy shit, I didn't realize there's a fog here. Oh, this is a fucking boss. And they're shooting me with arrows. Alright, holy fuck, why is he so big? Oh shit. Oh no. Oh man. That did not work out.
Say hello to the Tauros Demon, Dark Souls equivalent of furry bait. To be honest, the Tauros Demon isn't the most difficult boss, but it doesn't help that you also get attacked by bow and arrow wielding Hollows on the tower behind you.
Why are you bullying me? Why are you bullying me?
Now, early attempts fail spectacularly. You have the option of climbing the tower and killing the arrow-wielding Hollows to then do a plunging attack, just like we did back with the Asylum Demon, of course, at the start of the game. However, doing this just doesn't seem to work for me, until eventually I realized I picked up some gold pine resin much earlier. Applying this to your weapon, and suddenly you're going to be dealing lightning damage, making plunging attacks completely optional. And I'll be honest, putting on the gold resin, it was just me testing things out. I just got lucky I used it at this point in the game and not later.
Hey, let's go! Oh my god, finally! Holy shit. Okay, that worked.
Who's that?
Howdy, homie. It's Tony.
And here we have Solera Vestora, Dark Souls resident optimist and the most happy guy you'll ever meet. He's also a professional sun enthusiast.
Ah, hello. I am Soler of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight.
God damn, you know what? The sun actually looks pretty good, Solaire. I'm not even gonna lie. You're pretty accurate. I'm gonna be honest, his positivity is kind of infectious. I mean, so far, the only things I've met is a guy who I attacked because he was being a dick to me and a bunch of enemies. So having someone like him who's genuinely nice is kind of weird.
Anytime you see my brilliantly shining signature, do not hesitate to call upon me. You've left me with quite an impression. I would relish a chance to assist you.
Thanks. Is he flirting with me right now? Because I kind of like it. To be honest, Solaire's entire existence revolves around praising the sun, and we have the option of actually joining his covenant if we do meet certain criteria, which we do not at this point. Honestly, I think I love this guy. All right, later, sun bro. Stay sunny. Yeah, good enough, I guess. Bye.
Okay, well, this just seems unfair, though. Like, the entire bridge is filled with these guys. Oh, come on, man. I'm so close every time. Oh my god, I gotta run all the way back again. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh.
The Hellkite Drake, a name that, of course, the man from Degrassi wants to call himself, is Dark Souls' way of reminding you it genuinely hates you. There are a few ways around it. Either we bait it to come down from its perch above the undead parish and try to kill it, and well, the other method is to try to run past it. And well, that only works, well, about as good as you think it will.
Dragon. Oh my god, is that fire? Is
Yeah.
that fucking fire? Holy shit, it's fire! Ah!
Am I just gonna keep being burnt like this? Seriously, man. Wait. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, never mind. There's a guy here. Whoop, let's get past it. Whoop-hoo. Hey. Oh no, there's a bunch of rats. Fuck this.
Oh my god! Is that poison? Wait. Is that another player? That looks like a player. Oh. Oh! Okay, I got it. Nice! Oh. 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 Oh no. No! No! Oh my fucking no! Oh dear god. Alright, let's do it again. Come on, come on, come on! No! Please! Please, I'm so close! I'm so close! I'm so close! Please! Please, please! Please, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on! Just get the fuck up! Get the fuck up! Get the fuck up, please! Go! Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh! Oh!
Crazy, he made it.
Oh! Oh my god!
Okay, since I made it here, I might as well just walk around, see what's going on with these guys? What's happening here? Jeez, man. Who died? Oh, right, all of us. Before we even make it up to the undead parish, we get stuck in an endless loop of dying to the giant boar blocking the path. And also because Jimmy is so fat, we are not able to run fast enough to stop one of the hollows from closing the gate on us. Because once it closes, it stays closed forever, forcing you to take a much longer detour through a hallway so full of hollows I honestly thought about just giving up here. I mean, they're not even attacking him anymore. They're just watching him, judging him the entire time.
Imagine being such a little bitch. How are you gonna be undead and so fat that if you're jumping the ocean, it'll become a desert?
I thought dying was the worst. Didn't think fat shaming was on the table too. Yeah, it's not looking the best. So, you know what? I think I may have a solution. I know a guy who might be able to help. Give me a second. Yo, dude, it's me. Listen, it's about the undead parish. I have no idea how to get... Oh, so you think I should climb the little tower and fight the Black Knight? I know what we're doing next.
Oh. I'll have to work on another video soon. Oh, I'm so tired of... I don't want to play this game anymore. Wait, I think I can bait him downstairs, right? Yes! Yes! Let's go! Oh! Oh! What? Oh, are you fucking serious, man? Oh my god, what a waste of time.
Conveniently, though, he left out the part about needing about 32 strength to even use this thing. So now I have this massive-ass anime sword that I can't do anything with. I mean, at least it looks cool, I guess. sure. But in the end, it does teach us a few lessons here. 3 things in particular, though, which is 1, don't trust a man named Revk. He's an asshole. Does make good videos, though. 2, weapon weight matters. You see, I can equip the sword, sure, but when I try to swing it, I'm like a grandma with carpal tunnel. And 3, the last thing, which is, actually, this happening to me kind of forced me to learn how the stats in Dark Souls work, like the spreadsheet here, because I'm gonna be real with you, this shit is confusing. This game does not, like, hold your hand when it comes to the giant spreadsheet that you have in front of you here. So, listen, at least this whole disaster forced me to actually learn something. So, I guess that's a positive.